It's your girl Siobhan Danielle. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another vlog. I sound like this because I just woke up from a nap. I just woke up at like 3:30. And you wanna know what pisses me off? The fact that I have a professor who was like, every single time when you have a question, she doesn't want to answer it. She just says refer to the syllabus. You could be asking a question that have nothing to do with the syllabus, and she'll say refer to the syllabus. Like, for all the assignments, you have to do double space. But when I went to go put the assignment in the assignment link, like through Blackboard, I put the wrong one in there. I put the one that don't have the double space in it. So now, if it's not double space, points will be taken off. But both of the assignments is right next to each other. So I wasn't aware that the one that I chose wasn't the one that had double space. So I emailed her and I'm like, okay, hi. For the assignment, would I be able to resubmit the correct one? Because the one that I put in there wasn't double space. I accidentally got them mixed up and put the wrong one. And then she goes, would you like for me, like an hour ago, she's like, would you like for me to delete it? And then you can resubmit, because that's what I have to do. You have to confirm that, yes, can you delete it so I can resubmit it before tomorrow? Because tomorrow is when it's due. I turned it on Monday. Because I'm like, I'm going to turn this in, get it over with. I did follow the instructions of what she asked for. And then she goes, refer to the syllabus. And probably in the syllabus, it's like, I cannot once you submit something, you submit it. I cannot delete it and you resubmit. But that's after everything is due. You cannot take something and resubmit it. I did it before. So now I'm just sitting here waiting for her to say, okay. She deleted it. And then class is in 16 minutes. Internship class. Honestly, and tomorrow's October 1st. I can't wait for Saturday for it to be the last class. Like, this class pissed me off. Having to wake up extra early to be in class for 5 hours, which sometimes that's what you have to do. But it was the fact that she explained to us that this is the first session of the 7-week class. She has another session, and it's online. If I would have known that, I would never took this in-person class. But I'm glad I took this class. It ends on October 4th. So this class is done. And then I have 3 more classes left. One class don't start until the 20th. I still got my statistics class, which I had to redo my statistics homework. Me and my study partner, because we did the wrong math for the Z-scores. We did something totally different than what we're supposed to do. And honestly, I'm like, well, we got it wrong. He should be able to go over it in class. Come to find out, everybody did the wrong calculation, so he had no choice but to go over it. But then when he went over it, it made more sense. We just did extra math for no reason. So we made the corrections and we turned it in, which is I did earlier around like 12:30. He said to send the email to let him know that you're going to resubmit, which I submitted, and then I sent the email saying that I resubmitted it. So he got to do the calculations, the better calculations for it. And yeah, and now we have a week 6 homework. So what I'm going to do is when I go to my internship tomorrow, I'm going to ask my advisor to print it out so I can sit there and do the math and then take a picture of it and then send it in. And then next week, because it's due October 6th. So we have a whole week to do that assignment. Oh, shit. It's due on Monday. Well, today's Tuesday, so it's technically, yeah. It's due No, it's due It's due Tuesday, actually. But I'm going to do that and then turn it in. And then, yeah. Turn it in by October 1st. Oh, yeah, turn it in by October 1st, but make sure I have all the corrections. I might turn it in by October 2nd to give myself some more time to make sure all the numbers is correct and stuff. And then tomorrow is Wednesday, which is internship. And then at 6:30 we have our first meeting with Chi Sigma Iota. Like I said before, I am running for vice president. I am so excited. I want to know who's going to run for president. Like, if nobody's running for president, I might as well be president and not vice president. But everybody is grad school. Everybody has so much things to do. So it's like not everybody's going to be available to a certain position. But I already have some things lined up. I feel like there's movies and documentaries we could watch. There's games we could play. We could spend 2 hours together doing finding a case study to do of APA, American Council in Psychology, American Counseling Association. They have case studies where we could see how to do it, follow it, and see if we get the right diagnosis for it like that. We could do that. If that's something we wish to do further down the line, we want to go back to school and want to be able to diagnose people. Or if we just want to counsel people. I got some things for us to do. And then also, I look forward to even finding out what it is that we're going to talk about. I'm excited. I'm excited. I gotta find something to eat for dinner after I get off of class. I'm tired of eating those chicken tenders. I want a TV dinner. I want the Stouffer's steak and mac and cheese. That's what I want to eat. Like, I wish they had the really, really big one. You know, they got the small little ounce of it, but they got a really, really, really big one. I wish they had the big one. But I need one of those trays to go in the microwave. Not the microwave, though. Go in the oven. And I need an oven mitt. And also, I'm ready to dye my hair. Like, I wanted to dye my hair so it could be fresh this week. Like, going into, because October 1st, literally, I wanted to do my hair on October 1st. It'll make a month since I dyed my hair. And I'm thinking about even dyeing my eyebrows, too. I need to get my eyebrows done. I haven't had them done in a minute. What time is it? 3:49. I'm about to open this computer up and just sit there and look dumb until class starts at 4. 2 people are presenting today, presenting their case studies and then answering the 6 questions. Me and my partner don't go until October 14th. Which I would be like, we could go today. We could go today if you want. You read 3 questions, I read 3 questions. Let me get that shit over with. But yeah, I think I have some stuff coming from the food pantry tomorrow. I got some sodas. I want some Pepsis, but they ain't got no Pepsi, so I gotta get some Coca-Cola. Did you know the history of Coca-Cola and Pepsi? Coca-Cola was only made for people who wasn't black, whereas Pepsi was made for those who are black. I knew there was a reason why I like Pepsi. But I sometimes, I more so drink Pepsi to feel the closeness to my grandmother because that was my grandmother's favorite drink. And that's soon be 8 years. Yeah. Yeah, soon be 8 years since she passed on December 31st, 2018. And that right there still pisses me off because I'm like, you couldn't make it to the new year? But her body couldn't take it no more. I'm not mad. It was just very funny how I noticed that. But we already had a conversation. I already had a conversation with my mother. I'm like, do you think grandma's making it into the new year? No. And if she did, only like 2 or 3 days because it was insane. Like, she was barely functioning, like closed, like eyes weren't open. You could feel her hand, like she'll know you there just by you talking. It was no way she was gonna make it into the next year, or even last a full week. And I was okay with that because it's crazy because at that time I was in school. I was at Buffalo. Like I was only, even though I came to Coppin State in August 2017, and I left spring 2018. Like after that spring semester I left, I was only gone for like a year and a half. I came back in 2020. So I left 2018, was gone, went to Buffalo, fall 2018, spring 2018, and then when August 2020 came around, I came back to school. Was that like a year and a half? Yeah, because October, once I came home for May 2019, I knew I wasn't going back to no fucking Buffalo. 8 hours and a half? 8 hours and a half on the bus? No, that's a whole day. Technically. 9 hours. It's like every 3 hours you gotta stop because if it's a long drive like that, a driver is not supposed to drive nonstop. They're supposed to have stops in between. So imagine 30 minutes in between. No. But May 2019. Yeah, May 2019, came home, was working. I did summer youth. And then August, my mom had that stroke. August 2019, my mom had that stroke. She was in the hospital for a whole month. She got out September 2019. And then from then on, from September, from September to like the last September to October, I was kind of like, I started working at this warehouse. It was like a temporary job. And by the time November came around, and then December, I think November is when it stopped for the, or December, it stopped for the temporary agency for the warehouse I was working at. And then, Christmas, and then January came around, and then I think February came around. Then the pandemic started. Like January came around, it was talks about the pandemic. Well, technically the pandemic started in December because people was catching COVID in December in other states. Then January came around, Kobe Bryant had passed away, and that's when all hell broke loose with the COVID, and then we was on lockdown. And then I started working with I started working with NYCHA, New York City NYCHA, New York City Housing Association. Yeah, I was working. Y'all know what housing is. I was working housing, cleaning up, sweeping the sticks and stuff like that. And then you was only able to be outside if you was an essential worker. I was as an essential worker, so I was cutting grass I was outside sweeping from April to August. April, I was working in my area, cleaning up the sticks and stuff like that. And then I went over to Marcy Projects, and I was cutting grass from when they moved me there. So that was like September. No, it wasn't September. It was June, July, August. Probably June, July, because during July, I was working there, and then I took 2 days off because it was my birthday. I had turned 22 or 23. 22. Yeah, I had turned 22 during the pandemic. And then I randomly was like, you know what? I want to see if I get back accepted to the first school that I went college at. I put my application in. I got accepted. And I was like, okay, so what is it looking like for room and board? Like, how is it looking? I did FAFSA and everything. And I was doing that while I was standing there at work. I'm like, all right, is there room for me to be on campus? Like, how was the rooming situation? Do we have roommates with the COVID? They say, no, you have a room to yourself and all of that. By like, I think August 7th, they told me that I was accepted. I got a room and everything. Moving date is August 18th. So I had to go tell them, like, you know what? I put in because this is the type of job, it's a city job. This is not a job you can like quit from. You have to resign. It was like I put in my 2 week notice. I'm putting in my 2 week notice. My last day would be on the 10th or something like that. It was like, why? I said, I'm going back to school. And they was all for it. All right, you go back to school. Cool. I don't know why they thought I was going to be staying there. I'm not working no housing in the winter. Because really, you don't need to cut grass and stuff in the winter. I don't ever see them cut grass in the winter. I see them blow the leaves, and that's about it. Because, but then it's like winter, there's no leaves on the tree. What are you blowing? But anyway, that's enough. It's 3:57. I got to go in class. When I come back, I'll talk to y'all. Okay, so I'm back, right? 2 people presented in class. The whole time, I'm thinking that we just read the case study and answer 6 questions. No, we have to do a mock therapy session. So, the person that I'm doing the presentation with, our presentation is not until October 14th. So, we still have another week to come up with something, and then Tuesday come present it in class. I'm thinking if we just go and present, no, we'd have missed the whole part of the daggone presentation. But anyways, let me tell you what pisses me off sometimes. When someone is having a conversation and my name is brought up in the conversation, and then they talk about all the things that I do to them, but they don't talk about the things that they do to me. And they more so hyperfixate on how I respond to what they said about me. And they always talk about, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You don't get to dictate how I respond and how my tone is when you're not telling the truth. You're not telling the complete truth on the things that you say to me to get me to respond to you in a certain way. If you're sarcastic, why wouldn't I be sarcastic back? And then it's, you should always, when I say I don't want to talk about it no more, I should be like, okay, no, you're not going to sit in my face and bring up something. And then when I get to defending myself, or I question you or challenge you further on what you said, then you don't want to talk about it no more. That's not how life works. You don't get to bring something up, and then when you don't like the response that you're getting, you get to shut down and don't want to talk about it no more. No. Because then all of a sudden, when I do something and you want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. I don't care to talk about it. I really don't give a fuck. Because if I really look at you and be like, I really don't give a fuck, you're going to be like, oh, you're disrespectful, you're disrespectful, you're disrespectful. You don't get to dictate and choose how people respond to stuff. That goes for all authority roles. Like, I thought we knew that. That's why taking psychology classes is important. And then you keep throwing out there, get therapy, get therapy, get therapy. So I'm going to go get therapy, but I'm going to still live at home with somebody who's the reason why I got to go get therapy. So the person that's triggering is still inside the house when I'm going to therapy. Do you think that's going to work for someone who's in therapy if the person that's triggering them is still in their face? No. And you can't sit around and wait for somebody else to get therapy for you to wait until you need to be brought up in therapy for you to go sit and understand why they are the way they are. I am a spawn of you. The reason I'm the way I am is because of you and because of the person who raised you. I thought we knew how generational trauma works. And not all trauma is the same. I don't have to go through physical trauma in order to understand what trauma is. Like, common sense sometimes might be leaving the brain. I'm very strict when it comes to myself. Don't talk about me to people. Don't talk about me on the phone to your friends. So if I can't talk about you, what can I do? I don't know. Find something else to do. Don't talk about me. If you're going to talk about me, at least tell the whole truth as the reason why I respond to certain things. But it was cool when I was in high school, when you was saying and doing certain things. And then I was lashing out and punching the wall and punching the mirror. It was, why are you doing that? Nothing caused for you to do all of that. Oh, oh. But now I'm more able to express myself. I'm disrespectful. What are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? But I guess everything was much more smooth and calm when it was just two people in the home. Now that it's three, it's back to the way it was. When everybody gotta walk on eggshells and can't express how they feel without someone feelings getting hurt. I have a pimple right here. What the hell is that? Is that glitter? But where would glitter come from? I have no glitter in here, y'all. I hate glitter. Like if glitter gets on my skin starts itching. It starts scratching. And I remember one time it was like I feel like glitter to me is just like sand. Sand just be on your body for days. Be in your clothes, your shoes, whatever you go to the beach, it be on that shit for days. And then your skin start crawling, you can't get the sand off. Oh no. Like I hate sand. The beach is cool, but I hate sand. Like I completely hate it. And glitter. They make my skin itch. It's 5:36. I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to eat. I got pizza rolls. What else do I have? Chicken tenders. I'm tired of eating chicken tenders. I need some chicken bouillon seasoning. I need a bigger pot. I want some chicken broth. Like, I want to make some actual stuff. I want to make some potatoes. I only got one potato left, so I can make me a baked potato. But I need another bag of potatoes because I want to make potatoes. I want to do probably broccoli, some chicken. But I want to, I got to roast up. I made this one time. It's like this one pan meal. Made potatoes. Then I had chicken cutlets. And then I had string beans. I put the string beans straight into the thing. Like I cleaned them and stuff and snapped them. But they wasn't all the way fully really cooked. They were still crunchy. But I should have cooked them in a pan first. And then put them in a pan because I put the chicken, the string beans, and the potatoes. And I put some butter, some chicken broth, some chicken bouillon seasoning. That shit was so good. And what I should have did was cut up the chicken cutlets into pieces, chicken chunks. That shit was fire. Honestly, I might make some string beans. Canned string beans. I don't want no fucking chicken. I wish I could just order some lemon, what's that? Wingstop. Wish I could order some Wingstop on Uber Eats. I want that. I want some lemon pepper wings, some corn. And I really like Wingstop's ranch. Shit is fire. Immaculate. Immaculate. I had to turn the TV on, find a movie to watch. Waiting for my professor to respond back. Go into Blackboard, delete the assignment that I put there so I could upload the other assignment that got the double space and stuff. And then by Saturday, October 4th, they have to put in the capstone. Upload the capstone. Sometimes I wish that professors give a sample of what they want. Because sometimes you might look at the syllabus. Like I looked at the syllabus and I know what the syllabus said. I followed all the steps. But it would be easier because certain other people don't really understand like that. Like there's one girl in class. They have an area where you go for the discussions and you see all the discussions that's due on the upcoming dates. She missed one discussion and she was like, she look at Blackboard every single day, so I don't even understand. And she was in class crying. I'm just like, and it's like, the way the professor has everything on Blackboard is confusing to some people. And she is very confused. So she asks questions every single time we go to class. And the professor does nothing but say, refer to the syllabus. Like she doesn't really explain anything. And that would piss the girl off because it's like, I'm asking you questions and you keep talking about this fucking syllabus. You don't know how to use your words? I'm weak. Like, I would be mad too, bro. I'm trying to understand what's going on in this class, 7-week class. And then the girl was talking about dropping the class, but we got one more class, so don't drop the class. If you need this class in order to graduate. I don't know if it's her last semester or anything like that, but do not drop this class. Because imagine if you need this one class, you go to the spring semester, you take the class you need, but you still need that one class. I don't know if they give this class in the summertime. But then it's like she would miss walking across the stage in May and had to settle for a graduation in August. Or they just let her get her degree in August, but then she got to wait until the spring semester to hear her name be called on the little booklet. That right there, oh no. But can't wait for Saturday. My mother comes on Thursday. I'm tired. I don't know why. Even if I don't go to campus, I would go to sleep at like what, 2, 3, wake up at like 11, 12 sometimes. And just be doing some work, eating like I'm supposed to. I need to eat eggs. I want protein shakes. Wait, I need to text and be like, will they have protein shakes? Because I really would rather wake up and drink my protein shakes. That's one thing I'm missing from my freaking meals. I used to have the protein shakes, lunch, and then dinner. Now I'm back to eating lunch and just dinner. I'm really not a breakfast person. The only time I really eat breakfast is when I wake up early on Saturdays. And now I don't have to wake up early on Saturdays. I'm going to be back to waking up at 10. And it's not like I'm waking up early to do anything. Well, I can wake up early and do like some community service. But it's like still, I would like some protein shakes to hold me. Oh, all right. I'm going to sit here until it's time for me to eat. I'm going to think about what I want to eat though. Right? Okay, so I had a clip where I was in the kitchen making me some dinner, but that shit was so disgusting. My mentor, she gets some stuff from like food banks, pantries, and stuff like that. So you give her a list of things that you might want. They will go pick up exactly what you want. But she had I said I wanted some canned foods. And one of them canned foods, it was marinara sauce. But it was low sodium. And I'm like, it can't be that bad. First of all, when I opened up the can, the sauce wasn't red. But the thing was, the can wasn't old. It was not old. Why did it look like that? It's just low sodium. No salt is crazy. Like, it was so bland. And it's not even like you could season it yourself. You could still taste that the sauce has nothing in it. And unfortunately, I didn't even finish the food. I made the pasta with the sauce. Had a bowl full. I had like maybe 5 spoonfuls. Threw that whole shit and took it down to the garbage room. Oh my gosh. That was nasty. Very nasty. What I needed was probably some chicken bouillon too, but I think I was just more so focused on the color, like why the marinara sauce got this color. I know it's more red. No, absolutely not. But I'm watching this movie called Opus. Let's not talk about the movie right now. Let's talk about Rugrats. Because the other day I was watching Rugrats, and it was the episode where the dad told the grandpa that he needed to watch Tommy. Tommy was in a playpen. And you know how babies like to get out, so you extra close it tight so they can't get out. Bro, the grandfather went to sleep, mouth open. Why the hell Tommy had a pair of pliers to open the playpen, and then when he got out, the door was cracked. So when the father left out, he didn't close the door all the way. So it was cracked open. Tommy walking, door cracked open. He like, oh, it's time to go outside. We going outside. It was just him in the house. So he opened door, and he was fixated on that damn ball on the grass. He want to play with the ball. You know how babies are. They see something that they want to play with, their eyes, like they just have that thing in the back of their mind. They just want to play with that shit all day. It's kind of like keys. You got all these toys, but you want to play with these keys? As soon as you hear the keys jingling, you want the keys. That's how Tommy was with that damn ball. He went to go play with the ball. He's sitting there playing with the ball. Then down a block, it's these two people in the car. They see Tommy playing with the ball. So it's kind of giving like they go to houses and they rob the houses. But instead, they seen the baby with the ball. So they took the baby. Tommy ain't give a fuck about nothing. He wanted that ball. Tommy was in them people's house. They took the ball from him and they set it on top of this thing. Tommy was like trying to reach for it. He knew he couldn't reach it. So he took some type of chair thing and some other type of thing to step on it to reach. Shit was falling down because he trying to reach this ball. Then he playing with the ball. Then they took it from him and put it somewhere else. He did the same exact thing. Like Tommy focus was on that ball. He didn't even give a fuck if he was kidnapped. I don't even think he understood that he was kidnapped. Well, technically, first of all, where the fuck did they get the car seat from? I just realized they had a car seat in the back of the car. Did it just automatically appear? He in the back, the ball was on the floor. He in the car seat, buckled up, reaching out for the ball on the floor, crying because he want that ball, and they gave him the ball. He stopped crying. This nigga Tommy. What? All he wanted was that ball. Then they brung him back. They apologized to Tommy's dad. And they brung him back with the ball. He never gave a fuck. He just want that ball. But they really had episodes of people kidnapping babies. First of all, I was like, by the time this show had like 4 seasons, was just born. I was born in 98. But like, then they got lost in Paris in one of the movies. And then Spike had to save them from a wolf. Spike almost died. What? And then all the episodes with freaking Chucky and his mom died. Child, it was so scary. Not scary, but so sad. And then Chucky's dad got a new girlfriend and got married to Kimmy's mom. And that became his new mommy. And Tommy with the responsibilities. That's bananas. Oh. I don't know what made me. I'm just watching Rugrats, literally. Literally. Angelica was mean as fuck to them kids. But yeah, I start work. First of all, I'm doing 2 internships. Work, study. And I'm almost done with my hours. I have 160 something hours left. But by the time week 10 comes, maybe three or 4 more weeks, I'll be completely done with all my hours. And then I won't be having to take another internship class. And then it'll finally be countdown. Once December comes, the thing is, see, I always say when December comes and I go back home, I always want to experience the holidays in New York. I always say that. And truthfully, I don't even... I was about to say something, but... you gotta be mindful who's watching. Yeah. So tomorrow's internship goal. I gotta work with a student on completing her final exam so she could get her certification. All she needs to do is pass with an 80%, and she gets certified, and she could download it, and then she could finally, for real, work with the students, work with in daycare. She's been volunteering with the daycare kids, and assisting them with eating, washing their hands. She might start reading books to them, and she also helps them clean up and stuff. But it's gonna. I really want to know how different it's gonna be if she gets a part-time job, even if she get a part-time job, because part-time she doesn't. I feel I can't say all of this on camera. I can't. I might need to call my mom back and be like, I just realized something. I'll be right back. Good. It's no bars left, but I'm watching one battle after another. You need anything? Tiana's so freaked out. Leonardo's so freaked out. But Tiana, girl damn. But yeah, I'm gonna put this on the charge and I'm gonna come back. It's 2 hours long. Okay, hey guys, it's 5:25. What I should have did was take a nap. I'm tired. But I know if I go to sleep, I'm gonna be up all night. Yeah. I got some Takis, I got some protein shakes, some sandwich meat, some cold brew, I got some chocolate syrup, some coffee creamer to make me iced coffee. But guess what? I ain't got no ice. It's really not even no space for no ice in the freezer, for real. What is it that I'm going to eat? Oh, I got chicken in the fridge. Eat me that last baked potato with some chicken or something. Or I can make some corn. I'm gonna just eat some chicken and a baked potato. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna eat. But I'm gonna go ahead and relax until this Chi Sigma Iota meeting come on. It's at 6:30. Like I told y'all the other day, I'm running for vice president. I already know who's running for president. So that's good. The only reason why I didn't run for president is because I didn't want to give no speeches. I'm not a speech giving type of person. I hope I don't have to give no speech as a vice president either. Cause that would, like that's the whole point. I don't want to give no speeches, but I mean, if I have to, I will. It is what it is. Still waiting on. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so I'm back. So it's official. I am the vice president of Chi Sigma Iota chapter at Coppin State University. Yeah. I'm actually excited because I've never been the vice president. I've only been captain or co-captain of a track team. So obviously it's like the same type of leadership, which is nothing new to me. Well, even though it was years ago in high school, but I'm like, it's nothing new. We're gonna get this show on the road. I already made a list of activities for us to do. I shared it with my fellow, should I say inductees, or, you know, they also my classmates, because majority of them, we are in class together. online classes and in-person classes. So, yeah, and I was like, feel free to go in, change some activities to something that you want. I even came up with an activity like we should go look at some case studies. And I'm like, this would be good for us to practice if we ever think about going back to school to become a doctor and we want to diagnose people. That would be a fun project for us to do. Start obviously a social media page. Another student knows how to edit. I do edit. I know how to edit. I have this camera, YouTube channel, TikTok. So it's stuff that we are excited to do. We're gonna do. So we have until October to May. Majority of us graduate, so we'll be turning this over to the new students once May comes, the spring comes, and we have the induction ceremony where we bring everybody together, new inductees and those who are graduating out of the program. I'm actually so excited to see what this school year will bring. And then I also made me some dinner, because y'all know I eat dinner at 6:30, but the meeting started at 6:30 and it ended at 7:30. So I got some chicken, some corn, and a baked potato. Please don't talk about the cheese, and that white sauce over there is the only white sauce I eat. Ranch. Ranch or blue cheese. Nothing else. I can't do it. Mayonnaise, no, I cannot do it. I'm about to find a scary movie to put on and I'm gonna watch something. Okay, so if you hear anything in the background, that's Blue Bloods. Comfort show. All right, y'all, bye. Okay, y'all, so the time right now is 6:06, right? I just finished doing my stats homework. Put it in my folder. I'm finna show y'all. This is what we did. Went over this in class on Monday. I don't have no cover on there because I'm just finished washing my sheets and stuff. So this is what we did. And then this is the next page. I don't think I'm finished because I still have to answer these questions. I mean, I did one. I got to do B and C, I believe. So, yeah. I'm actually waiting on my study partner. So, yeah. Now, I'm about to finish reading the first case in this book. And then I also want to look up, like, I know the difference between a clinical psychologist and a psychiatrist, counseling psychologist. I know the difference between all of those. I'm just going to do further research on it is because I should know what I would like to do, like what my specialty is. At first I said I didn't want to work with children, but I think the most crucial stage when children start coming into their own person is in middle school. So I'm thinking I want to work with children in middle school area, maybe elementary school, middle school, you know. And I'm also getting myself familiar with how to go through a diagnosis and treatment planning and stuff like that. To, like, if I ever want to decide to go back to school, become a clinical psychologist. I know I don't want to be a psychiatrist. I do know that. But maybe a clinical psychologist is what I would like to be. So, yeah, I don't want to prescribe medicine. That's a psychiatrist. So, yeah. And I also need to start studying for my my NCE exam, my comprehensive exam. The comprehensive exam is not until November 1st, but I want to get myself familiar. There's like 2 subjects on the exam, which I haven't taken the class for yet, so I need to overly study to make sure I know what's going to be on that test for that specific area, because I think they said there's 8 areas, it's multiple choice and stuff like that. So I want to make sure I know it and stuff. And yeah, my mom is coming in today. She's actually on the bus. She should be here by either 8 or 9. She asked if I was gonna wait for her to eat dinner. So I'm thinking maybe I will. I don't know. I had lunch. I had a chicken Caesar salad. for lunch. I had me a protein shake for breakfast. The protein shake looked like a Celsius. I would go down there, I would pick it from under my bed and show y'all, but I just got in the bed and I'm comfortable sitting here with the computer open. And I also need to update my timesheet for my internship and stuff. I was waiting for IT to get back to me so they could help me, or it's HR, one of them, to get back to me so I could finally go in to my work study account and put my time in, because I started work study on Monday. They changed it from 20 hours a week to 15 hours a week. So yeah, I need to figure out how that's gonna work for other things. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I have for today. I didn't take my camera with me to campus and all. And also, as I told y'all yesterday, we did the voting. I told y'all that I was the vice president for the Chi Sigma Iota International Honor Society. We're gonna get stuff rolling. Already told y'all that I came up with some ideas for us to do, and this one was one of them, to read. I don't know if everybody has access to it, but one of my classmates do. She has this book and she read through it frequently. So she told me that there were some good things in here. I don't know where I got this from. I think I got this from the resource room. Like, we have a resource room where it's filled with textbooks and stuff that students need. They come and they take it or whatever. There's a lot of good books in there. They even have, I thought I was going to need a textbook for stats, but my professor said that he's going to be teaching us everything. We don't need the book because he has all the information and slides and stuff for us to go through that. So yeah, I want to read some of it to y'all. That's what I want to do. So I'm gonna read some of it to y'all. I'm gonna read like one page or something. Hopefully ain't no big word. That's a big word for Elmo. So let's see. Where did I stop at? Oh, I had stopped in this page because my sister had called me. So the first, let me see. It's The Case of Allison, A Focus on Assessment by Jason H. King. I'm only gonna read this paragraph to y'all. Okay, so in consideration of these critical changes, the following real-life case study. Oh, it's a real-life case study. I mean, well, this is the DSM-5, so I would hope that they won't put nothing fake in here, which I'm sure that they could put fake names and stuff like that to still show how we do assessments, but yeah. Female client Allison in her mid-30s that previously received private practice, outpatient treatment, weekly individual counseling session, but was referred for inpatient psychiatric hospitalization because she manifested serious and foreseeable harm. Just like that show I was watching with Mark Ruffalo, When Things Are True. I don't remember if that was the title or not, but the brother was a paranoid schizophrenic. He always been not sensitive. I'm not gonna say emotional, because sensitive is a better way to describe how he was as a child. He was always like one of those children who could feel energy, just feel everybody else's energy around him, which would make him emotional and stuff like that. Feel when somebody's angry and stuff like that, and when somebody was angry at him and stuff. And he was always the one that got picked on and stuff because he wasn't able to control his emotions. So yeah. And then when he got older, I think they was in their 30s. This was well into their adult years when obviously he's been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and basically people were coming to harm him. They're telling him things. They're looking at him through security cameras and stuff like that. And God was telling him that in order for him to do something, he needed to sacrifice his arm. So he cut off his right arm. So he was a danger to himself and others around him, even though he didn't harm nobody. And that was like this was like the first episode or the second episode. This was before we really got into his story and how he became diagnosed. And this is not the first time he was ever like a harm to himself. By that time, he was already in, I don't want to say hospitalized. He was already in a hospital, a mental, I don't want to say mental hospital either. He was already, it's there, but it's not coming to my brain. Like, it's there, but it's not coming. He was already where other people who are just like him, who suffer from mental illnesses are, right? So he was already there. And even though he wasn't like that towards others, he was like that to himself. So let me just go ahead and finish this. In alignment with ethical standards and actual client and family-related information have been sufficiently modified to obscure identity. The content presented in the next section is from an actual referral letter written to the Director of Behavioral Health for the Inpatient Psychiatric Unit, a psychiatric hospital. I don't know why. It's right there. I don't know why I couldn't get it out. Unit at a local hospital, family history, current functioning, diagnostic, impression, diagnostic conclusion, and suggested therapeutic interventions are embedded within the letter, especially within the context of course, descriptive, and severity specifiers. The referral content and the sequencing, which is descending order of extreme, severe, moderate, mild, equivocal of disorders with associated specifiers, are in alignment with the DSM-5 chapter title, Use of the Manual. I have the DSM-5 right there. I think I will be using it more in this next class I will take in the spring. The class is called Co-occurring Disorders. So, yeah. And then right here is the inpatient psychiatric hospitalization referral letter. So, like I said, they will be writing what's the letter that the person wrote. Prior clinical interview and testing using the following assessment measures: DSM-5 self-rated level 1, cross-cutting symptom measure, adult level 2, depression adult, level 2 anger adult, level 2 anxiety adult, level 2 somatic symptom adult, wow, level 2 sleep disturbance adult, wow, level 2 repetitive thoughts and behaviors adult, severity measure for depression adult, severity measure for separation anxiety disorder adult, severity measure of social anxiety disorder, social phobia adult, severity measure for panic disorder adult, severity of post-traumatic stress symptoms adult, wow, severity of dissociative symptoms adult, brief dissociative experiences scale. I have diagnosed Allison with the following DSM-5 disorders. Wow. And then they give a, you can't really see it, but this is a page of, you know, the codes, if it's severe, mild, the symptoms that shows how it affects cognitively. Is the person able to, you know, be around others? They got interventions, and then for your consideration, they got questions, and then references. I'm gonna go back and read all of that because one of the things that I came up with for the Chi Sigma Iota thing is we should, if anybody want to go back to school and they want to become a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist, we could read the DSM-5 and figure out the best way where we could we could know what to do in those situations. And then we could also find some case studies where they don't have all of this and we have to come up with the treatment planning ourselves. We have to figure out how to diagnose them, come up with some interventions. If they need medication, what medication will be able to help them, things like that. I just wanted to tell y'all that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get on the computer, and then I'll probably come back later on in the night. Maybe when my mom come back. Maybe when my mom come. So yeah.